Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Asagao Academy.
Also called the Cheese Club.
Cheese Club is.
I keep calling it Asiago, and Matt keeps telling me it's not a cheese, and so now I've decided to call it the Cheese Academy.
Yeah, she's bound and determined to come up with as many different cheeses to introduce this as possible. I don't know how I feel about that. I might need a new. I might be in the market for a new co-host.
He has literally tried to replace me so far with a glass of bourbon, moose. Anything else? Oh, I turned into the shadow puppet person for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. All right. So send your audition tapes. We'll see how it goes.
Also got to try to figure out how to remember how to do Mai's voice. So it's probably going to end up being something totally different again. So my apologies that her voice keeps changing. You can tell I am such a professional.
It's a professional show. All right. So we got up and tossed our trays together. As I headed towards the door, though, Mai hesitated.
Hey, I forgot something back at the dorm. Oh, need help? No, I'm totally okay. I'm just going to go get it, and I'll see you later, though, right?
See you later.
Okay, see you in class.
I waved. Mai sprinted off in the direction of the dorms. Alone again, I crossed my arms and headed back to Poppy Hall. Poppycock. Large groups of 7 or 8 people were laying out in the sun, playing catch and eating lunch on the lawn. It looked like fun to have so many friends like that. I smiled. Maybe this new school really would be better than my last. Without students inside of it, Poppy Hall looked a bit like an abandoned hospital. My footsteps echoed as I climbed the stairs to the 4th floor. With a sigh, I opened up my locker and pulled out the book Satch gave me. It was a good thing I brought it after all. I stepped into the classroom and saw a flash of movement by the window.
It's Monica.
Oh my god, no, it's not Monica. I accidentally deleted Monica, so if you've seen my Doki Doki Literature Club videos, she's gone. A boy sat at the windowsill, and he jerked up when I came in. Also, if you haven't seen those videos, I just completely spoiled everything. Sorry.
I don't really know if you spoiled everything.
I spoiled everything.
I don't think so.
He was silhouetted by the afternoon sunshine, so I couldn't quite tell who he was. I think it's Shane.
Hello. I'm sorry, did I bother you?
The boy stood and shook his head. Then he crossed to a desk on the opposite side of the room. As he passed, I was able to see him clearly. Another Normal Boots jacket. This guy. He was Shane from the Normal Boots Club. How on earth did this keep happening to me? Shane sat down at his desk, fidgeted with his hands a little, then turned to look at me. You're the new girl? I nodded.
My name is Hana. It's nice to meet you.
He nodded. Shane. Silence filled the space between us. Panic built up inside me. This was my chance to get in with the Normal Boots Club, and I was blowing it. I walked to my desk and sat down, setting the book on top of it.
You,
Shane looked at me, unsmiling.
You're part of the Normal Boots Club?
Yes, I am. Why? He spoke as if it were a challenge, almost glaring at me.
Oh, I just saw your jacket, so...
I trailed off.
The jackets are really cool?
Okay.
Yes, they are. Silence again. He seemed skeptical, as if he expected me to crawl out of my skin and reveal myself to be a large amphibious reptile. Poor Hana. I had to do something. Who knew when another chance like this would come? But Shane didn't seem friendly. In fact, he seemed downright suspicious. Surely he wasn't on to me already. Maybe it was better not to risk it? Oh no, what do we do?
Oh jeez, what do you want to do?
All right.
I'm sorry, it's not Jared.
It's not Jared, so doesn't matter.
Maybe give him some space.
Let's try giving him some space.
Because I know sometimes if I'm in a crabby mood, I don't want anyone talking to me.
Right.
Plus, we have that really cool book that Satch gave us.
Right. Let's just start reading our book, and maybe he'll come over and talk to us. I chewed my lip and opened up my book, finding the page I ended on the night before. Shane's stare still hung, hot on the side of my face. He wasn't looking away.
Creepy.
I stared at the page of my book, rereading the same sentence without grasping any of what it said. Finally, a small group of girls entered the classroom and Shane looked away. The atmosphere was broken. I feel like we messed up.
Oh, wow.
I heaved a sigh of relief. What was up with these normal boots guys? John was really nice when I spoke to him, but PBG and Shane seemed to hate me.
It's like high school. Makes no sense.
Poor PBG and Shane. They were anything but normal. To be fair, after watching their videos, I'd probably agree.
I like PBG's videos. I've never seen Shane's.
Yeah.
You have to show me one. But no, I like PBG's. He's pretty entertaining.
He's hilarious.
I feel like would be you if you had like an entertainment budget, because he's all over the place all the time. I feel like that's you sometimes. Oh, I want to go do that. Nope, I want to do that now. Nope, I want to do that now. Okay, we're good for the minute. Nope, wait, nope, yep, oh, okay.
Yeah, it does sound like me. I waited for Mai to come to class, wanting desperately to tell her what happened. But when the bell rang, Miss Shizuka started teaching. Mai still hadn't come. Uh-oh. Okay, if we find Mai hung in the closet at home, I'm out.
Wrong game.
This game is over.
We decided to play a gentle game.
I know. I want this to be a gentle game. Class came and went, the bell rang, and I was alone. PBG stared at me for the entirety of the class period, his face growing more and more menacing by the minute. All right. I want to see an example of a peanut butter gamer menacing stare. I want to see that so bad.
This poor girl's gonna go run screaming for the woods.
How his face wasn't stuck in perma-frown, I would never know. That's funny, because from his videos, that sounds like the exact opposite
I wonder if they did
peanut
that on
butter
purpose.
Just like how Jared's all into himself.
I don't know.
Jared might be all...
I could see Jared into himself. I feel like Gerard's gonna be like the boy next door. His personality.
I could see that. All right. Well, that's the thing. We haven't talked to Gerard yet. Shane and John didn't bother talking to me as they left the classroom, and the other students paired up around me.
Hey, Mimi, would you like to engage in a casual discourse this evening? What just happened?
What
just happened?
What are those words?
Yeah, of course. But why are you talking like that?
Okay, good. They're trying to impress the Normal Boots Club. I stuffed my book into my backpack and headed to the dorm. With a sigh, I unlocked the door to my dorm room. As soon as the door opened, I heard...
Hannah!
Hey, that was pretty good.
What?
Mai and I lay in a heap on the floor.
Did she like tackle her? I'm like so glad you're back.
She wrapped her arms around my head and nuzzled me.
What are you doing? Come, look.
She got off me and helped me to my feet. Without Mai's face filling my vision, I saw that something had changed.
Oh my goodness.
The dorm room looked nothing like what it had before. The posters and fairy lights were still up, but now the window had light pink curtains on it that cast a warm haze around the room. A brand new white carpet was on the floor. Pillows were piled high in a mountain on the top bunk of the bunk bed. Even our chairs had been replaced with new, cushy leather ones. Whoa!
She went shopping. What happened here? Sorry, I didn't tell you, but I wanted to surprise you. I thought this would totally come in yesterday, but it was delayed by a day.
Was it delivered by USPS?
Do they have mud on their street?
Too soon, man. Too soon.
I know. I wanted to set it up to be a big surprise. I'm still not done yet, though.
I mean, are these things ever done? She gestured to some small potted plants arranged in neat rows on her desk.
Want to, totally help me?
Yeah.
Do I ever? Oh God, my eyes rubbing off on Hannah.
She's just trying to fit in at her new school. She wants to make friends. We finished setting up the room, switching a few objects here and there in order to better facilitate the feng shui, which my toad told me was excruciatingly important. She especially wanted to make sure our room was filled with reds and pinks and coupled items, though for what purpose I wasn't sure. We collapsed with heavy sighs on the floor, then heaved great big yawns.
It's not even the end of the day yet, and I'm so tired. Me, too. Wait!
She shot up suddenly with a jolt.
We should, go get some ice cream.
Okay.
Ice cream? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, something to celebrate being roommates. This ice cream here on campus is genuinely good. I totally promise.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm totally paying.
We're in.
Well, if that's the case, you made an offer I can't refuse.
You can refuse.
Sweet. Let's go.
No. The school shop was in a side building off the cafeteria, packed with instant noodles and giant bottles of soda. Students wandered the aisle aimlessly, clearly here more to spend time than money. Mai paid the cashier, and we grabbed our ice cream cones, mine the one covered in sprinkles.
Whoa, this is delicious.
Yeah.
Isn't it? We're lucky to have such good food on campus. This place would be awful if we didn't.
I mean, it is a snooty private school. I nodded and was about to respond when I noticed a commotion outside.
Oh my goodness. Oh, let's go see what's going on.
Oh, is it a fight with the Normal Boots Club? And
Is it? Jared.
Oh, it could be. Mai grabbed my arm and dragged me outside. There, three boys wearing Normal Boots jackets were shouting at each other, each of their faces turning purple.
All right. Who is it? Who do you want to think it is first?
All right. I'm going to say Gerard because we haven't run into him yet. I'm going to say Gerard, PBG, and Shane.
Okay.
All right.
This again? What are you talking about?
Mamma mia!
Oh, I wasn't even close.
None of us were.
I am clearly the only one who possesses the proper masculine form.
Yeah, right. I'm taller than you and more attractive to boot.
Come on, guys. Nick pulled back the sleeve of his jacket and flexed his arm.
These guys always go on about stuff like this. They're, very energetic.
Wait, was that one me?
Or did I do Josh? I can't remember. I think
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah?
Josh got into the downward facing dog yoga pose and grinned.
What?
All right, I'm glad that you took this. I don't even know if that's what we did, but
Why do I keep getting stuck with this?
I love it.
Look at this butt. Look at this. That was like a dude Valley Girl voice, totally.
I promise I didn't plan that, but it worked out beautifully. Guys, you're welcome.
I don't understand is why they don't just ask Jared.
Oh, yeah? Paul kneeled low to the ground, then took off at a sprint, heading straight for us.
Yeah!
Check this out. He sprang into the air in a graceful ballerina's leap, spinning through the sky, and finally... came straight for me? Oh, and we're out. When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed into the top of my blouse.
Hana, are you okay?
I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You ran into someone, you idiot!
My uniform, it's ruined.
For a few seconds silence, then snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging my eyes.
Not this, not again.
I stood up, prepared to walk away with dignity, when the entirety of the Normal Boots Club suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey,
Hana, are you alright?
I'm going home.
Hana.
Wait, Hana. It's fine. I just want to be alone for now.
It took all of my will not to run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit.
What am I going to do if this ends up just like last time?
Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless eyes. I squished him to my chest, losing myself in his soft fur. The door opened with a soft click.
Hana, are you okay?
I rolled over in bed to face the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blankets as my alarm went off. It was only the second day of school and I felt the same as I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up and I could hear her hair straightener clap shut every few seconds from across the room. I felt bad about letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out to cover the covers to switch it off.
Hana, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're totally awake.
I didn't even have time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed into the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room.
Morning.
Ha! You can't hide from me, Mai! Sorry.
I was breathless, and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again.
Are you totally worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself.
She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulders and pulled me closer to her.
For reals, though, we're gonna go to class, and no one's even going to mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. Oh my god, what a bitch!
You were so close. So close.
Such a bitch!
You were like 2 words away from being fine.
You could have put that better.
Poor Hana.
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I might have been a big scene, but totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul's, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory like I did just now. He could learn a lot from a master like me, just saying. Get dressed, cheer up. I could bottle up your gloom and sell it on to a wizard. And what if he, used it for evil?
I love that line.
You totally can't let that happen, Hana. The world is at stake. If we let this evil wizard have your gloom, the world is at peril and at doom. Only you can save us, Hana. Only you.
I can't argue with that. Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between continents. The beginnings of tears pricked the back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside, slathered with dried-up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waited impatiently for me.
Are you ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah!
Good.
Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out on the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look.
Hana,
At the sound of my name, I leaped to attention.
if there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery.
What? It's a very nice, lush and green landscape, I'm assuming. No.
Yes, Miss Shizuka. I'm sorry.
She turned back to the chalkboard and continued to her lecture as if nothing had happened. A few desks in front of me, a guy sitting next to Brutal Moose turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up.
Are they like the bad boys? I don't know. So they're like the rival groups, or are they like...
They're the rivals, but I don't think they're necessarily like the bad guys. I think they just portray them as weird.
Okay.
What did my desk ever do to you?
Sorry. I have long legs.
Make them shorter.
Chop them off the knee then.
No, I like them. They can't go. I made a face at him, unsure if I missed the line. Something happened. I mean, you guys probably read it by now. It's all right. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant. Then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch.
Okay, everyone, it's almost free to go. The work tonight isn't so hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, you may be aware the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half.
Of course there's always a festival. There's always a festival, and it always ends in tears. I'm not falling for it this time.
You'd play Persona. Those did not end up in tears.
I don't trust you. I don't trust any of you. Then this news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up.
Since you had the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before.
Of course, not after the exam or not after the festival to give us time to prepare. We'll do it the day before, so that way you can't prepare for it and you have to spend all your time studying for the stupid test that you're going to fail. I hated teachers like that. There were no cheers this time.
Romance is wonderful. Believe me, I know. But try not to let the festival distract you, okay?
What?
That is all. See you tomorrow. Ta-ta.
Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher.
Ugh. That lecture was totally so boring.
I know, I almost fell asleep. Mai walked beside me, a tray in her hands. We were shuffling through the cafeteria, trying to find a seat.
Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today. Also, Hana, help me. I'm going to die of boredom.
Me too, Hana. Help.
We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
Boring.
What?
Ugh, we
We already have work to do. Like, ugh. How did you not hear that?
My sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it.
Oh God, Hannah. Paul's like totally walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's going to kick you again? Oh God, Hannah. Oh wait, that's the same thing.
Wait, why did I do the same thing?
I don't know.
If we're stuck in an infinite loop. No. The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer. I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry to me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made him feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I like the pink splotches on you. It matched your hair. A deep, sick feeling crawled from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. I thought the normal boots guys were different, and he was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? Not for the first time. I thought of dyeing it a different color, but quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for his response. May gave me a quick nod as if warning me not to mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it was at least somewhat convincing.
It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I feel really bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess.
Thank you, but I'm just gonna scrub it in the sink.
Dad and I could never afford things like dry cleaners, so I was surprisingly good at hand washing things. That's going to need more than just hot water and soap, trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later and bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me time to say yes or no, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now. You can sit with us if you want. Just for today.
Yes! We'll go right, Hannah. Yep, right.
Lunch with the normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident, right?
Yes, please.
All
right, follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where the normal Boots Club sat with a table all to itself.
Hey, you found her. You're Hannah, right?
I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai forced herself between Jared and PBG.
Did you see the next line?
Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from forming huge hearts.
It's Jared.
I mean, how do you look at that and not get sparkles in your eyes? Whoever came up with this was brilliant.
I know.
Real subtle. So, Hannah, we saw you're upset and we're all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating hard against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug.
He has such dreamy green eyes.
Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm length away from the other guys. As I tried valiantly to open my mouth, whispers spread around the lunchroom.
Look at those girls over there.
Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there?
I wish Senpai would notice me. Main characters get all the luck, seriously.
Shouldn't have made fun of the pink hair.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, shouldn't have done it. Maybe we'd be friends with you. What up now?
Bitch.
Suddenly my thoughts turned dark. Could it be that by getting close to these guys I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me, even more worried than before.
I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself better.
I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud.
Hana.
Hey, Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault. Right, Polly? Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I apologized as best I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or Mai any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there. I felt uncomfortable.
Hey, Hana.
Hey, Hana.
Gerard!
How do you like it here so far, Hana?
Good. How about you? I mean, I like it here, thank you.
Gerard smiled at me, then turned away. I picked at my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy hyperventilating from being so close to Jared.
Jared.
To be fair, that might be my reaction too.
I just like my Jared voice. I can feel his body heat.
Oh dear. You doing okay, Hannah? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know we can be overwhelming. You're fine, right?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending me that book, by the way. It's been really good.
Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would.
It's really funny, but the narrator's annoying.
Listen. Yeah, he can be a bit rude. He pushed his glasses, then grinned at me.
Alright.
You were pretty quiet, but I knew there was more to you. I winced.
Sorry, I can be a little bit of a wallflower.
Hey, they at least had one hit. And for the one guy who got that joke, you're welcome.
I got that joke.
No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. I feel like that's our generation. Our generation would get it.
One headlight.
One headlight. That's all you need. We can drive it home.
I still like that song, though.
It's a good... Hey, it's a good song.
And isn't the lead singer like Bob Dylan's son?
Maybe.
I swear. He's some famous person's son, and I think it's Bob Dylan.
All right. Google after. But that reminds me, the Flower Festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all, and as if on cue, they all suddenly turned to pay him attention. Who are you all talking this year? Right, the Flower Festival. Miss
I
Shizuka
was right.
mentioned it before.
Sorry. I totally Googled it. He's the son of Bob Dylan. I am totally freaking right. Go me.
Okay, sorry.
No, I love that. I love that just happened.
What is the Flower Festival? No one's explained it to me yet.
Well,
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school, but they were basically just 40 kids grouped in one room sharing snacks they brought from home.
That sounds amazing.
That actually sounds like most dances I went to.
Didn't go to any.
Yes, we know. Depressing childhood. Move on.
Wow. Well, we had something kind of like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Like, why not? They're so fun.
I didn't really want to answer. There's no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended I didn't exist. Ooh, we're getting more backstory.
Oh, that's so sad, though.
That is sad. But we're finding, I want to know what happened to her that she had to change schools.
Yeah.
But I was waiting for an answer and everyone was looking at me.
I'm just not into that stuff, I guess.
But I could be.
Oh, like, well, maybe like this one more. The flower festival happens all over Japan around this time of the year, but it's like a big deal in Higanbana. Is that how you'd say it?
I'd say Higanbana.
Higanbana. That's the town right next to the Cheese Academy.
This is going to be a Natsuki thing all over again.
I'm sorry, how do you say it? Is it?
Asagao.
It's Asiago, I swear to God.
Asagao.
Yep, nope, cheese. That's
And
all I
next
see.
to Asiago.
I also called it Iago a while ago, too.
Iago works. I'm alright with Iago. If you want to call it Iago, I'm alright with that.
There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that's somewhat important.
Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower spirit fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. Jared winked, and my swooned. So during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go play games and eat food or go flower viewing.
What's flower viewing?
You go and view flowers.
Like, you just go look at flowers? Or
You view flowers. I don't know what part is tripping you up.
I mean, like, we go to, like, the nursery and like, pick up flowers. That's what this is. You literally go get flowers?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they just say that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Then at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can go watch the flowers, and there's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in a little booth to raise money for the school. So there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami.
Origami? I'm good at origami.
Really?
Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together.
Oh, God.
Shane gave a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think that would be happening. We should have talked to Shane.
Okay, I'd like to point out that ever since Doki Doki, whenever the music stops, I kind of get like that little cringy ball in my stomach, like something's going to happen.
Can we just get constant background music so that we're not scared of this room?
All right, anyway, sorry.
Hey, speaking of which, I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally, but there were so many girls with broken hearts. Even I couldn't mend them all.
It's Jared.
Dear Diary, after what happened last night, I don't even want to think about what'll happen today, but I'm trying to stay positive, but I
think you hit the button.
I clicked the journal. But now we know what she was thinking. You still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken aback. Then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped away a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone asked me? Maybe even if one of the normal Boots guys did? Oh. No, I doubted that would ever happen. They were only letting me sit here because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Besides me, my shirt shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flicking from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow. A god waiting for names to fall into his lap.
Oh, lordy.
I'm thinking about going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah. Same. Man, you guys are boring.
You aren't much better, man.
I am on another level compared to you guys. I've already got my choice picked out. There was a quiet clattering next to me. My head dropped her fork.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, but I'm probably be a new choice tomorrow.
Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make so many different girls' dreams come true. Now I want to watch Jared play this just to see him read these lines. I must find the one who is most in need. So it's not... That's me.
Oh, sorry, Shane now. Josh was there.
Josh was there. He's gone. So it's not even about which one you like, huh? Nope. You make fun of me. Just then the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class and time for us to cut the episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
But we don't know what's going to happen with Jared.
I mean, we got to sit with them. That was pretty cool.
I know, but I didn't really get to say Jared that many times.
Because she couldn't talk because she was so stunned by...
Jared.
At least we finally got to hang out with Gerard.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
All right. Okay. So we'll pick this up next time.
If you'd like to, learn more about Cheese Academy, please like or subscribe. Or don't subscribe.
No. They can dislike. They can't not subscribe. They have to subscribe or they won't know when we post the next Jared video.
I thought we were on Cheese Academy.
I was just going to go with Jared. Cheese Academy video, whatever. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.